what your opponent is guessing for, and what, did you see something interesting? What was it?
Well, I mean, it's not a huge surprise, but it's the first time I think that we've seen it this weekend. I saw the Shadow Mewtwo coming out from Mewtater, which is a big surprise. Not a huge surprise, right? Something that we knew potentially could happen, but we haven't seen Shadow Mewtwo on the same team as the Mewtwo, which is what we are seeing right now. But again, both those characters very well known for Mewtater. No Aegislash here, and we are going to see the returns of the Lucario after using Blastoise against Roxas, which was super cool for Jukem.
For me, I was actually thinking of seeing the Blastoise a bit. Blastoise can actually stick around for such a long period of time, having a high amount of HP, so along with Napoleon, but you can see that Napoleon is actually coming out first. Ooh. A character that Jukem is very much well known for even now. And with the classic Snivy pick, taking deep breaths is Jukem. These players are ready. They want to see who's going to have that nice sitting pretty spot at Grand Finals. And this will be a best 3 out of 5 set for this winners finals. And the patience coming out of both of these characters, but it's going to be Mewtater who running guns first. The cancels. The JY.
Oh, actually, CA threw that, but wasn't confident that it was going to punish. It's actually backdashing out. That could have been a great start, though. Okay, just a little bits of hits here and there. Nobody's really landed all that much. Nothing that anybody can convert off of, at least.
Yes, and just like that, you just see tick for tack here, just getting small amounts of damage. None of them want to commit too heavy, but look like that's going to be the biggest commit yet. Going to get a smaller amount of damage and recover, getting the grab. Going to put him in field phase and going to get a nice amount of health back as well.
Oh, getting rid of the pillar with the defog. Very, very cool. All right, the Sniper's going to at least guarantee a level 2 Aqua Jet right there. Just blocks and, ooh, that was nice. Just a quick counter. Almost looked like a perfect block, but I don't think it was.
It actually was a perfect block.
So?
Being able to perfect block the cut, you can get a punish off of it into homing. So that's good stuff out of Mewtater. Scouting out from either Rock Smash or cut. There's just assortment of choices that Napoleon can do from that Aqua Jet. So right there, the scout cut. Good stuff out of Mewtater.
I immediately questioned myself. I was like, that looked like a perfect block, was it? But I mean, why would I even expect that Mewtater wouldn't be ready to perfect block something like that?
Like, why would you expect anything less? Both of these competitors have a high skill ceiling, and they know what they can do with their characters. Canceling out with the burst, but it doesn't have enough time to come out. 4X. The dance. Look at Jukem getting out of sticky situation. Jukem juking them, but that's not going to be juked itself. Thunder going to get hit out into the corner and get that wall splat.
Yeah, I mean, you get so much solid damage for every, solid confirm with Shadow Mewtwo, even when you're not in burst. And again, we've been using this term a lot today, but it's extra credit, really. All the damage that Shadow Mewtwo was able to do that Sceptile, just because it already did, of course, take out that Empoleon. And the Empoleon and the Sceptile being the most comfortable characters for Jukem means the fact that they're both already either KO'd or halfway to KO'd, just off the first character, is a huge advantage, I'd say, for Mewtater.
And moving on to the Decidueye, I actually haven't seen much of his Decidueye. I could have sworn I've seen more of the Aegislash position, like you said. But, Mewtater probably seeing that he needs Decidueye, having such great multi-hitting moves, being able to have such great projectiles. I can understand why he would make this switch, but right now, Jukem going to take the driver's seat. The defense debuff is going to be applied. The loops, the cancel, the loops. Going to take a hard knockdown and set up the bullet seed, the cancel, and it's going to be extra damage with that defense debuff. Jukem being such a slippery character.
Yeah, already just, landing so much stuff. You can see how long the defense debuff lasts. Gonna even it out with the Sylveon right there. The Sylveon is honestly putting in so much work with just even its healing in 3v3. It's such a clever pick. But again, the grabs coming out of Jukem, a lot of them, knowing that Mewtater's going to be pretty patient.
Yes, seeing that he is going to be patient and is just taking the chance. Both of these people don't have too much to lose, especially with these small little guesses. It's just that when you do the heavy commits, it's where it's really going to matter for the next character. But Mewtater showcasing the classic all the way to the corner combo, drops it at the end, and Jukem gonna take no opportunity to get out of it. Gonna burst up burst. Alright, gonna get a lot of space from this, and the red shield health, Leaf Blade instantly. Even if he blocked it, Mewtater would have been shield broken, and it would have been a KO regardless. So nice lookout from Jukem.
Yeah, had to try something there. Maybe he was trying to stuff out the armor before it was active or something like that. But yeah, like you were saying, if you jump away, you get hit. If you block, you get shield broken, and then you lose a meter and you get hit. And then you, yeah, there's not a winning situation in that spot, especially not in field where you can't just perfect block and then CA through. But Mewtater now down to a final character, the classic Mewtwo, the character he's probably most well known for, although he's well known for a lot of characters at this point. Needs to quickly get rid of this Sceptile, otherwise it has a chance of just getting a lot of free damage here.
But yes, he's doing especially the optimal combo, making sure that he gains a good amount of synergy. Not using too many specials, so that way he can stay on track to that synergy path. But good from Mewtater, being able to close it out with all those projectiles, covering the field phase with all that, and he's able to take that. So now he's actually pretty close, at least maybe 80 to 70% synergy gauge, while Lucario, with either one of these people who get a field phase, well, there you have it. Lucario having full synergy right now. Sylveon on deck, gonna take the crit CA, gonna push him to the corner, a double dash grab. The confidence out of Jukem, and he's stuck in the corner. The guess? What? The trifecta going back to the grab. Are you gonna give me a fourth one?
Yes,
you are.
All right, keep going.
He says, I'm not gonna triple dip, I'm gonna quadruple dip. But this time, Mewtater is on the back foot, having to guess back to back, taking in the homing, and now Jukem, he can activate. He's just riding with it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a ridiculous way to start off this final moments of the set. But, I mean, Mewtwo being a pretty healthy character means that there's still very much a chance here for Mewtater. The defense buff is nice, but still a burst confirm will absolutely do this. Should get over it.
No, he didn't! It's because Mewtater tried to cancel a little bit on the lower end, enough to actually try to get over, but at least low enough to actually still hit him with JY if it stuffs anything out. So Jukem taking game one. Wow, that was like we said, Jukem being the king when it comes to the chaos, the actual getting inside someone's head. He loves it. He thrives in it. And surprisingly, being such a stature of Mewtater's caliber, actually getting into his own head as well.
Honestly, it was a really smart move because I think most people would agree that if we had to pair up Mewtater's Mewtwo versus Jukem's Lucario, I would say there's like an 80% chance that Mewtater's Mewtwo would win, right? If not higher, honestly. So what Jukem did was made things weird. When you're like, yeah, I'm willing to just completely play this 50-50 game with you over and over, and I'm willing to say like, oh, I'm not going to play it safe. I'm literally willing to just go for 4 grabs in a row. Then suddenly it's like, okay, this is a weird game. This is no longer like we're just going to be playing with all of our skills here. It's going to be like, yeah, I'm willing to throw things to the wind because I need to make this final situation work. Plus, on top of that, I mean, Jukem, of course, had so many resources, had the full burst, knew that Mewtater did not have burst to his name, so he had the chance to take a few more risks. It was very calculated and put it into a spot where Mewtater was not able to take advantage of, I think, like what he's good at with his character. And I mean, I really thought Mewtater was going to take that, honestly, but Jukem really showing us something else.
Yeah, looking at Mewtater's screen, he did a full swap, and I mean a full swap. Took out the Shadow Mewtwo, put in the Aegislash, changed the order. He even went to a different support and a different tier skill. He's like, all right, we gotta take a moment to slow him down, get Jukem to at least, you know, take a moment to actually cool off, and we gotta change up what we're doing here. And that's exactly what Mewtater is trying to do. Starting off the field phase, taking on a little bit of damage from the projectiles, a little small waves coming in on the floor, and ooh, getting nicked by the Ice Beam. Gonna take a little bit more chip. Ice Beam being actually a laser variant, it's gonna out prioritize most projectiles on the screen, but the JX coming in from Jukem, gonna pull in the approach, and getting in, being plus JY from deep, and Barrier having so many counter frames. Gonna be Mewtater being on the offensive, getting the wall splat as well.
Yeah, and it's so nice that you can actually hit somebody that's airborne with Barrier. You know, that's a little bit of an issue with CAing through Aqua Jet with your normal CAs Mewtwo. So again, just a matchup knowledge thing that Mewtater is taking advantage of, but still, Jukem is just taking so much control. You can see the double hitting Steel Wing does so much chip damage.
And look at this combo, being able to do the reset, getting a little bit of synergy at the end, again, just trying to help out the next character that happens. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't punish that. He could have actually punished it with grab, or maybe with, you know, a little bit of a faster move, possibly.
Right now, Mewtater is just willing to jump over all of these mix-ups, saying, I don't want to deal with this. You're in burst. Oh, but that's going to be that. You know what they say, like 6 times the charm, right? When it comes to Aqua Jets. That's the classic Empoleon strategy.
I mean, when it comes to the classic Empoleon strategy, I think it's just the classic Jukem strategy. If it works, redo it again. We saw my man grab Mewtater 4 times in a row. What makes you think he won't level 3 Aqua Jet 7 times in a row? Like, if it works, right?
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't getting punished for it, so why stop doing it? Oh, that was a very weird camera thing right there.
If anything, that was definitely a commentator's curse.
True.
The instant of an Aqua Jet being punished immediately. But right now, ooh, look at how much damage that Surf does. But a crit CA gonna put Mewtater into the corner. Ice Beam combo, the conversion. Jukem so optimal, and the reset to B+.
Oh no, yeah, that was just an unfortunate situation. You really had to try to AA there, but the actual 8YAA might not have even worked. Like, you were gonna get shield broken, or you were gonna get hit. And Jukem looking to go up 2 characters very quickly, but Mewtater, of course, can do a ton of damage here.
Mewtater showing that he's not gonna, he may be down, but he's not out. He's gonna make sure he does everything he can to get rid of this Empoleon. Knowing it's such a strong character for Jukem, but Jukem still sticking it out, taking out 2 characters with still his lead, putting Mewtater on his last one. Jukem being so strong right now.
Yeah, this is, I mean, honestly, again, this is not how I expected this to go. This is a 3 out of 5 set. This is not match point yet, but Jukem is just taking full control of this. And again, all of this damage that lands in this round, if there's even any, it's all extra. This Empoleon has done more than its work. You know, it's already taken out 2 full characters. It's ridiculous. So at this point, you can just get some chip, right? Just throw out someone safe Steel Wings. Who cares? Just get some permanent damage on board.
And he's already done a good amount of chip right now. Even with 2 grabs already, Jukem is still alive and kicking. Fully charged, want to take down at least a good amount of synergy. Is it going to be a KO? No, it won't. Jukem is so slippery. He's still able to hold on and adding on even more chip, extending his lead. And finally, Mewtater actually able to get rid of the Empoleon. But like you said, Empoleon has done more than enough. It's unreal. It just shows how well and how much time he's put into this Empoleon, and the matchup experience shows.
Yeah, that was 250% essentially damage from that Empoleon, and that is going to be a really tough path for Mewtater. I mean, Mewtater does have good Decidueye, great Decidueye tech, of course, but these are a lot of characters that it's very hard to avoid at least taking some chip damage against. This is a good start, though. Mewtater immediately using Burst. I think it's really smart because you want to build it back later.
Yes.
And oh yeah, that's the setup right there we saw from Cloud. After you get a throw in duel, you can feel forward Y and you can beat. Oh, okay, that actually is going to catch the
Yeah, that's definitely going to catch. Oh, but it looked like he had a little bit of time. He tried to DP, but instead it's going to be hit out by the burst attack. It's also going to lock his support even further, especially with the amount of hits you get. Every time you get hit with a debuff or a buff on you, it's going to last on just a little bit longer. But the chip, Mewtater has to take a little bit of less damage so he can actually deal with the rest of the cast. But it's not like Jukem is going to care about it. He's going to do a 2x instantly. The jump, catching it with 5x. Jukem is just going crazy right now.
Oh yeah, Jukem, no fear in the world. And oh my gosh, pressuring with a back Y after a Snivy is blocked. I don't even understand the strategy for that exactly, but it worked. I mean, I think that maybe Mewtater thought, okay, you know, he's not close enough to actually do anything to me. He's probably not going to raw Bone Rush, so I'm just going to let go. I'm going to move. But it worked, the back Y, and you know, I expected this to be a very close set. I think honestly, a lot of people see Mewtater as the favorite to win this entire tournament, or at least did up until this point. So the fact that Jukem is up now at a comfortable 2-0 is, I think, a pretty big surprise. I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise, right? This is a world champion who has, of course, did make, you know, top 4 last year, won NAIC the year before that. This is a top-tier player of every description, any way that you could think about it. Has won the majority of majors, offline majors, since they came back. So no surprise, really no surprise, but still, this is not as close as I thought it was going to be.
If anyone's, you know, not surprised, I'm definitely surprised. Mewtater is definitely a competitor of a very high caliber, but it's the fact that Jukem is just on a roll. He's playing great. He's playing very aggressive, actually, and if anything, he's just getting in Mewtater's head a little bit. But you know what, Mewtater, He's not anyone to sleep on. He's going to go ahead and start off this field phase very nice, but fully charged CA coming from Jukem. Going to get the combo here, going to push him closer to the corner. Might be a wall splat. No. Yes? No. It's going to push him to the wall, and he has more chip. Look at that. Adding on even more chip damage because of that defense debuff is going to increase the amount of chip taken as well. And nice. Reacting to the little hit stop coming from the fire spin, moving him around, and the reaction on the fire punch. Mewtater finally taking lead. Spacing, Sylveon, I'm going to be here just for a little bit. And again, the reactions from Mewtater. It looks like he's waking up here, Chef.
Yeah, just sitting there playing a little bit more of a patient game, saying, okay, you're going to press a lot of buttons, even, you know, well, so for example, right there, we saw a lot of these 8Ys in Wake Up. That was an attempt, I think, to catch instant air dash jump Y, which is a really common way that we see Mewtwo try to make it in, but the reads were, of course, not quite correct. We haven't seen a whole lot of that from Mewtater in general throughout this set, but yeah, okay, this already, looking way better than the last set, or the last game, and definitely an advantage here for Mewtater, but ooh, that was a really good air pickup. Ooh.
The pickup out of Jukem, realizing instantly that he was able to get him out of the frames of Hyper Beam. Wow, the conversion, but this is going to be really scary right here. But Jukem is still doing quite a bit of damage. Ooh, nice. They cancel from Jukem, trying to reduce the amount of damage so that way it's not a crit. Krogan going to be out here for a little bit, chilling in the background. If he comes anywhere close to him, then he's going to apply the poison, but not going to matter to Jukem. Being able to use all of his mid-range options, the JY, the jump, the leaf blade. He's like, I don't need to go over there. Krogan, I'm going to leave him alone. It's me and you talking over here. Let's have a discussion in the corner.
Yeah, it's so funny to see Krogan again. You know, we used to see that a lot from Suicune Master, but way back in the day, and now we're suddenly starting to see it again from Mewtater. It's like, okay, hold on. We have traveled 5 years into the past, or whatever, however long it was. But still, it's really cool to see. It was a little bit far away to be super useful in that moment, but just like to look back. And now things are, again, pretty evened up here. Of course, dash forward raw leaf blade in field. You know, what's the fear here?
The fear here is really just taking a good amount of damage, especially as Shadow Mewtwo. But Shadow Mewtwo can do a great amount of damage himself. Look at that. Already taking out another third of Jukem's HP. The combo, the setup. Nice block, grab. I believe he actually perfect blocked to get the grab punish.
That would not surprise me at all. We've already seen a bunch of great perfect blocks from Mewtater. While using that burst to just really try to confirm things, we are going to see the burst to burst. I'm surprised that they both decided to use it quite so early here.
And nice, recognizing that Jukem wasn't anywhere near him, but it's going to be Mewtater activating the burst, and this will be a KO. So far, Jukem was being having such great reactions, the spacing, realizing that he was too far for that leaf blade, chooses not to do the second hit, and trying to get into that scramble, try to get into Mewtater's face, but Mewtater is like, all right, nah, you've had your fun. You've got a 2-0 lead. All right, it's time for me to play the game.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're starting to see this. Of course, there is the potential here still. It is technically match point. The winner of this goes into grand finals on the winner's side, so that is the ultimate advantage for the rest of the tournament. Now, Jukem just needs to make a 2-character comeback. No big deal, right?
It very much is possible.
It is possible.
And nice. That was a beautiful punish. Being able to properly CA most of Flamethrower and being able to get that grab punish. But it's not going to matter to Mewtater. Dropping. Going to get Krogan. It's definitely close enough to apply this defense debuff. And the anti-air JX, it's so good. Being able to charge, but right there, not getting the combo, the grab, teleport back. Going to be tacking on a little bit of extra damage with that defense debuff. The recover. And nice. Oh. Being able to stuff the CA, but we're still doing great. No matter how much damage we're doing right now, it's adding on, it's stacking, it's showing. And playing a little bit of hopscotch, bouncing around is Mewtater taking to the skies, finally using his burst activation to take game number 3. Finally, Mewtater realizing, all right, we let Jukem have his fun, right? He can go ahead, show out with 4 grabs, 7 Aqua Jets in a row. But you know what? There's nothing like changing the pace of a match and being able to slow it down. Mewtater looked like he did that. He wanted to make sure he, he learned from it. It's the adaptation. The adaptation is the most important part. It's not about, all right, yeah, he's up in the lead, I'm all the way down, he only needs 1 game. No, it matters when that final score, that final KO, that final perfect, okay, that's when it matters. It's when it's not over until it's over.
Great!
Great.
Yeah, no, yeah. The path there is less important than the actual result, and we haven't seen any 3 out of 5 sets, so we certainly haven't seen any 3-game reverse sweeps. But it's very much possible here with how Mewtater was looking in that last game. And the big question to me is, will he come to regret the switch in the game number 2? Because clearly he went back to the original plan and it worked out, and all it took was just a different play style rather than an actual switch of characters. And that can be a really tough thing when you have that many characters to pick from. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. I would love to at least see this go to a game 5 here. But Mewtater starting things off, really looking to do that with, of course, the critical confusion into Hyper Beam.
Yes, and especially by how much damage it does. And look at that. Mewtater already looking like he's doing way better in game 3 and game 2. Already has gone unanswered. Nothing. But finally, Jukem getting some damage on Mewtater, though that was actually a well-timed 8Y. On Oki, it is plus, and even more so, +8 if you actually time it correctly. But the anti-air JY is going to hit out Jukem from the skies. Mewtater showing very much more than signs of life. He sounds like he's riding momentum right now.
Yeah, and honestly, that happened so fast we didn't even get a chance to talk about the fact that Sceptile came out first that time. And I like the idea that Jukem is willing to still, try some different things just in case it does go to a game 5. And I mean, now, it's looking like we're on that path at least. But the Empoleon might come back out first on game 5 if that does happen. And we'll see how the Empoleon does here. The Mewtwo has just been a bit of an issue within these past 2 games at least. That's insane.
When it comes down to character choice, it's the essence of 3v3s. Matter of fact, it's the essence of Pokemon. Being able to guess which one's going to be the starter. What should you do first? And it's clearly that Jukem was thinking maybe Mewtater would switch, try to change it up a little bit, try to fake him out, but Mewtater's still sticking with his Mewtwo lead, and it's actually doing plenty of work right now. Even with Mewtater's lead right now, it's already put Empoleon to half HP, but Jukem finding the approach. Ooh, the Steel Wing chip damage, and this is going to be a lot of damage here, Chef.
Oh, yeah, look at this with the defense down debuff. Oh, wow, that actually didn't wall splat. That was a little bit weird. That would have been the end, but still manages to close things out. And that's going to be a good amount of health back for Empoleon, of course, having a pretty big health pool, getting a higher percentage back, and having full synergy gauge. This is still looking pretty evenish, even though the Mewtwo did a lot of damage.
Now, it depends on what Mewtater picks here. It's actually going to be the Decidueye, yes. Having so many hits to actually, deal with the CA from the long protruding and long extending out CA from Empoleon. I can understand why. It's also, you can try to keep Empoleon out. He doesn't have the best ways to, I was about to say the best ways to get at, but look at that. Fully charged CA being stuffed out by the Rock Smash. Mewtater does not want to take too much damage. Instantly puts on the crossover JY to actually pick up, and it hit the later frames of the Aqua Jet, so that means he was airborne at that time. Chip damage.
I need to point out too, that was the float safe jump, that was the soaring stance safe jump that actually let him block the burst wave, and that's a super good safe jump. That's one that we saw Cloud using a lot in UIC. It's great new tech. Oh, the backdash, the grab.
That backdash, indeed. And Mewtater earlier taking a little bit of a page out of Jukem's book with a triple rising JY. That's going to be an anti-air Wybatal.
It's going to hit kind of weird, though, I think.
Oh, no, he's actually safe. That was so weird. I could have sworn he wouldn't have been able to escape that. But the escape artist, being Mewtater, it's crazy. And he's going to be able to take the KO here. Mewtater is already showing great stuff here.
Yeah, I could tell that was going to land a little bit weird just because of the weird arc that the Decidueye was flying up. But I honestly thought it was going to hit and not land in the puddle or something like that. But the fact that it avoided the laser completely was a surprise to me. But hey, you know what? Just owl things, I think.
Mainly probably because the actual hurt box on Decidueye is actually quite small. He's actually a thin character when you think about it. Even the amount of distance that his hurt box is actually shrunken when he actually blocks as well. So, ooh, the delayed jump. You have reactions, but can you wait for me to come down there to hit you? Ooh, 6X gonna stop the his 6X actually coming out, and again, gonna cover the grab. It's actually a really nice cover. You either get the grab and then your opponent actually just goes straight to field phase, or Croagunk covers you. It's just, the best of both worlds. No, great mid-reward, no risk.
Yeah, and then, then you get, of course, the defense down debuff, which is always, guaranteed with that Croagunk, even if it's blocked. Oh, is this going to connect? It is. Wow, no follow-up. That could have been it. It's going to be it regardless. and we are going to a Game 5, and what looked like it was going to be a sweep of a set. I am so glad that we were going to see this go to the final game.
It's the adaptation, Chef. Like I said again, you may be up 2 games, but Mewtater, what person would you expect to adapt? What better person would you say is going to actually pick up the slack from what he's thinking about, take in everything that's been going on, and bring it back all the way to a Game 5? It's going to be Mewtater, it's going to go to, I wouldn't even be surprised if it goes to final game, final character, final round.
Yeah, I think now is time where everybody gets to use everything that they've learned throughout this set. We are going to see the same supports picked, and we are actually going to see the same Pokemon starting off that we did in the last game, where it's going to be the Sceptile first for Jukem, and on the other side we're going to see the Mewtwo, and the Sceptile really got run over. There's no other way to put it. I really hope that Jukem has found some sort of gameplay adaptation mid-round to find something here, but Mewtater saying, nope, I'm just going to repeat what I was doing. Okay, nice first initial hit, but okay, this is going to be a good one, especially at the wall.
Yes, and the cancel, the safe jump, even though if he could have detected, it was really much too huge to actually get over and escape the situation. Mewtater gonna try to go for the reset again, catching the backdash with the 2x, and we're seeing a repeat of the last game. Mewtater having such a great lead and a reaction on the flash kick. Mewtater went from being 2 games down to being in the lead, taking it here right now.
Wow, yeah, that is, I can't believe we saw almost an exact repeat of just how that last game went. This is tough. I mean, we're going to have to see Jukem really make a comeback here, especially without the Sceptile, who's normally one of his best characters, easily, right? This is the character that he's most well known for in that Sceptile, and now it's just gone. It's gone for the rest of the set, really, when you look at it this way. Yes. It's going to have to be Empoleon just snowballing. I mean, you know, pun kind of intended, but you've gotta just run over this Mewtwo and just keep the damage going. Get some guarantee chip in the next character, otherwise it's going to be so hard to find things, but this is a great start.
Nice reaction on Jukem's part, waiting to the very end of Barrier. We know how many active frames it has, but Jukem just on a different level, being able to react to that distance, level 3, not being able to actually, I think he actually did cut there. He could have done Rock Smash to try to actually deal with it, but I believe he automatically chose cut. CA, the B-, anti-air from Mewtater, gonna put him back into the corner, and again, the situation, it's just the best of both worlds. You either take the grab or you just get hit, and Croagunk will cover you at the end. Ladio's gonna put a cage over him, and instantly Mewtater, the escape artist, getting out. But Jukem covering the attempt, pushing him to the corner. The chip, JY plus.
Oh! Overblast on the Aqua Jet anti-air? That was really awkward, and that is going to be meter for both players, but in the end, at least Jukem does find the KO, jumping over with the Steel Wing, and this is a low HP Empoleon, but, I mean, it can make things work, right? Especially it depends on what we're going to see here. Probably the Decidueye, I'd have to guess.
Yes, on the round change, though, he probably will be back to out of Rage. With the amount of percentage he would get back in HP. The only thing is how well he can actually deal with, I believe he picked Decidueye. Decidueye being a little bit on the lower end when it comes to HP can definitely end up getting hurt by Empoleon taking such large amount of chip, but the JY call out on the Spirit Shackle, is he gonna burst early? Yes, he does. Doesn't want to take any chances. And catching him out of the skies. They may be a bird, but Empoleon's definitely not a flightful one. And the grab, the coverage. Again, you get the best of both worlds. No risk, great reward.
Yeah, that was scary too. You kind of have to take that grab, because if that was just a raw burst, then that was going to be... Oh, speaking of raw burst, actually gets stuffed. That is a good chance here for Jukem. 35 HP is not a lot, but you do have your support still. Your Mewtater's still there. You're going to get a ton of damage here.
And right now, I'm really expecting a reset here, because yes, he does. Yes, Mewtater gonna show so much chip, and with Decidueye having a weak shield, I think he might actually do a shield break situation.
That HP's gone. That HP's 100% gone. Oh, what, that trade?
That actually clashed there, and it was enough to actually give Jukem his burst. Right now, he has to deal with it, but Mewtater dashing in with the Frenzy Plant. The confidence. He can't believe he would actually do such a thing.
I'm actually kind of questioning that burst. I mean, I know that it was a really tense situation, but again, you're one hit away, and all it's gonna do is give you light armor, essentially, right? Your burst attack is not like a defensive option as Empoleon. You are going to get, you know, your better level 3 Aqua Jets, but overall in that situation, it didn't come into play at all, and now we don't have a burst for the Lucario straight off the bat, which is of course one of the scariest burst characters in the game. We really need to see a very quick win here for Jukem, especially trying to get burst to fight the Shadow Mewtwo burst that's inevitably coming next.
And right now, Jukem just trying his best to tack on any amount of synergy to the point where just a singular hit will actually do Mewtater in, but he's finding his way in all the way, knocked back into the smackdown, gonna tack on all of that damage, already close to 50 HP. The cage, will he be able to escape? Taking a little bit of time, the shield walks, and Mewtater being able to escape, knocking out the vulnerable frames of that CA. And Mewtater, the best of both worlds, being able to hit, get her grab.
No.
That's gonna do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's gonna be the KO. Mewtater